to our weekly Bhagavad Gita class. Today is the 13th day. We had beautiful 12 days. I know Ajay Dr. T.P. Shivkumarji put a lot of effort to have this class or the discussion group to promote the beautiful teachings of Bhagavad Gita. I have to thank and congratulate. His dedication is very important for the globe. Wish you all a happy 75th anniversary of the United Nations. Today is the UN Day celebration. We are going to have a beautiful celebration at 2 o'clock, that is 11:30 p.m. in India. So we are starting all the activities from now. Without delay, I want to invite Ajay Dr. T.P. Shivkumarji to take care of the class and lead the program. Thank you. Floor is for you.
Namaskaram, congratulations and best wishes on this great day of United Nations, October 24th, 1945. I just finished my program with Mahi, one of the higher secondary school NSS volunteers, just talking about United Nations. Nice that at least distantly I am also associated through Dilip ji on the United Nations NGO, and we are glad that Bhagavad Gita session, probably first time ever in the United Nations history, Bhagavad Gita is being taught by an initiative from the NGO, and I must thank and congratulate Dilip ji for this great initiative.
I have to inform all of you, and T.P. Shivkumarji is part of our Global Council. When he comes to New York, he will able to go to UN with the UN ID.
So glad and thank you when we slightly got associated with the month-long yoga celebration. Immediately after that is over, on a interfaith community meeting when Dilip ji announced this even without having a consultation with me. He said we will have Bhagavad Gita teaching from this date to this date. That's how we started. 22 classes. It went on well, not because I am a eloquent speaker on Bhagavad Gita or maybe an exponent or an expert in that. We can look at any literature text from very close or far. So I thought maybe first what I did was I looked at Bhagavad Gita from far and then finished it once. Then went into sloka by sloka and then finished it. That gave me a lot of courage to say when Dilip ji said, yes, I will go ahead. Right?
That's a reason. Because of Swami Bhuva, he used to do the slogas at the UN. When I left America, I don't want to live here, went back to the Purnatra in Cochin. He came to my house and stayed 2 weeks, and he asked me to come back. So we had to implement the Yoga Day. We did very well. Now we are bringing a committee for Hinduism at the UN through the NGOs. We are not going aggressive way, we go as a spiritual. So that is very important to bring this one. So let us see how it will go. Thank you, TVG. Please continue.
So many people thought that Bhagavad Gita discusses about Hindu religion and it is a textbook of Hindu. But if you go through the text, you will know that nowhere such a mention is there that Hinduism need to be propagated. It only says that knowledge is to be propagated. I am sure no religion will be against propagating knowledge. Second one, all your work has to be considered as your prime importance, Swadharma, and do it totally devotionally. That is what we have seen in the Atma Samyamana Yoga, yoga of meditative samadhi, or maybe practice yoga, which is the 6th chapter. Before that, we have seen Sannyasa Yoga, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. But 7th chapter is very, very, very specific and very different from the earlier chapters, because Bhagavan has given no chance for Arjuna to speak. It was a straight bombardment with no questions. Otherwise, Bhagavad Gita is famous for questions and answers. Arjuna's question only triggers. But here, 7th chapter, 30 slokas, all the 30 are by Krishna. First chapter is anyway fine. First chapter is Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Krishna has no role. But we have seen 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th chapter. Arjuna had questions. Now, maybe next chapter 8th also will have 2 slokas by Arjuna. But 9th sloka again much more important. Maybe the most important sloka will come in the 9th chapter. There also Bhagavan Krishna is not giving any chance for Arjuna to ask questions. So what is this chapter? After the peace formula, probably the 5th chapter 29th sloka, I keep it as a peace formula by Krishna. Now the knowledge of absolute, Jnana Vijnana Yoga. Jnana becomes Vijnana. V is added, it becomes higher and higher, not the normal Jnana. So Jnana Vijnana Yoga, that is the supreme truth from Bhagavan himself. How do you make life so sustainable where the material practical world to the spiritual balancing? How you become so pious? How you can impose what your soul call is? People keep calling soul call. That is what the peace call. So that is the wisdom with the real knowledge of, or the knowledge itself is manifested as God. So wisdom plus know God is what is being told in the first few lines. Manifesting the divinity in the knowledge. That is where is Vijnana. Nirguna Brahma in the form of knowledge. Impartial knowledge. But you know what is right and what is wrong. That is the beauty of it. You know what is right and what is wrong, but I am not impartial. I am not partial. I am totally impartial. So God is there where devotees are there. That is what Bhagavan says. The devotion is, maybe you have full faith. I surrender to you totally. How do you worship other gods? And how do you know other gods? Which is truth? How do you balance this confusion in me? That is what we will see in the 7th chapter. This has got 30 slokas. I don't know whether what slokas to be taken. We will see as it goes, as it stucks in between. The whole slokas are by Bhagavan. So we need not look at what Arjuna is asking. He says to Arjuna only. So in between he addresses Arjuna saying that yeah, you should know, or you can know, you are supposed to know. That keeps coming. So the listener is there. It is not that Krishna forgot the presence of Arjuna and then gave lecture without even thinking about Arjuna. Thinking about Arjuna only, the whole lecture is there. So let us skip first and second sloka. Nothing remains in the world other than what is touched by me. That's what Bhagavan says in the first few slokas. But third sloka is important because he says, who knows the real truth? Jnanam is knowledge. Generally people understand what is told by somebody else is Jnanam. What I propose as factual knowledge is knowledge. No. Bhagavan says, Krishna says, it is not factual. It is not fact. It is truth. There is a lot of difference between fact and truth. The advocate presents fact in front of the court and judge decides and gives a verdict based on facts. So how much you can fool by your argument, you can win the case. But again the truth remains. So here Bhagavan says you must understand the truth. So what is truth? Knowing me is truth. That is what Bhagavan says. And how will people understand? Out of 1,000 people only one fellow will understand the truth. Out of 1,000 people, only one person understand the knowledge. That Jnanam comes only to such people. 1 in 1,000. The 1,000 doesn't mean number 1,000. That's a way people prepare. 1 in 1,000 means don't count 1,000 and 999 minus. It's not in the mathematical sense, it's in the statistical sense. So third sloka, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Manushyanam Sahasreshu Kaschit Yatati Siddhaye Yatataamapi Siddhanam Kaschin Mam Veti Tattvataha Manushyanam Sahasreshu. 1 out of 1,000 human. Kaschit Yatati Siddhaye. Someone who is performing, who is striving, who is struggling for getting it. Not everybody 1 out of lottery. Who is really struggling, making it to happen for him. Only such people will understand. Siddhaye. Only those people will get. Yatataamapi siddhanam. And not that everybody can do that trial of getting it also. Those who become perfect, siddham. Siddham means who become perfect. Siddhanam. Siddhi is what you get when you become perfect. Not luck. Many people mistake all these Bhagavan gives to lucky people. No. Bhagavan himself is saying, I am not going to offer anything to lucky people. People who will strive only will get. And if somebody is saying it's all luck, Bhagavan has gifted to me, that means he has never understood Bhagavan. He mistook Bhagavan as a lottery ticket. No. Kaschin Mam Veti Tattvataha. Kaschin Mam. Kaschit, someone. Mam, me. Veti, who knows. Tattvata. Tattvata is the truth. Who knows the truth? Only those people will get this benefit of 1 out of 1,000. So they must understand what is God, what is Bhagavan. That means they must understand, or you must understand, your Bhagavan is inside you, which is highly creative, who gives you the thought process, who makes you to become active all the time with no rest. Don't take rest in your life. Be active all through. Manushyanam Sahasreshu Kaschit Yatadisiddhaye Yatatam Abhisiddhanam Kaschin Mam Veti Tattvataha. What a beautiful way of defining God. Who can achieve that with all your trials is when you find the truth, that truth is God. Where is that truth? It is inside you. That's what it says. Fourth sloka. Bhumirapo Analo Vayu Gham Mano Buddhirevacha Ahangara Idiyame Bhinna Prakriti Rashtata. Bhumi and Apo. Bhumi is earth. Apam, water. Anilam, fire. Apo, Bhumi, Rapo, Anilo. Bhumi, Rapo, Analo. That has to be read Bhumi, Apam, Anilam, Vayu, air. That means earth, water, fire and air. All the 4 elements out of which everything in this world is created. About Panchabhuta, the 4 items are told. Gham, Mano, Buddhire, Vacha. Add your Gham. What is that Gham? Space. The 5th one. Gham is space. I am from Gham department. Space department scientist. And what is there? Not 5 elements are not enough. Bhumi, Apa, Anala, Vayu, Gham, not enough. Mano, Buddhire, Vacha. Mano, your mind, your thought process. Buddhi, your intellect. All these have to be added. Evacha. Add all these together. Ahangara idiyame. Ahangara, your ego. What is your ego? How much I know, That much knowledge about your knowledge is called ahankara. Aham karam. I know this much. If I don't have that ability to understand that I know Bhagavad Gita, I will never come to venture for teaching Bhagavad Gita or discussing Bhagavad Gita. That knowledge about Bhagavad Gita is my ahankara. So people mistake saying that he is an ahankari. There is nothing wrong. You have to be an ahankari. If you don't ahankaram, you don't even speak about anything. So you need to have the ahankaram. Idiyame, that knowledge about you, added together with all these thought process, all the Panchabhuta, Bhinna Prakriti-rashtava, all that together will become 8 Bhinna Prakriti-rashtada. 8 elements are there. And these 8 elements are around us in the materialistic inferior nature which is around this world for every human being. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and our ego. Some people will mistake and mention it as false ego. Don't say false ego. It is ego. Ego is good, not bad. Bad ego is different. That is called ahanta. It is not ahanta. Bhagavan used very carefully ahankara. Because English ego is one word, ahanta and ahankaram is converted into same, translated into same and used as negative. It is not negative. Bhagavan is mentioning all that what is existing in the world, which out of which everything is created. Bhinna Prakriti-rashtava. Nothing in this world is different from all these. All these added together is what we are, what every element, what every being is. Bhumiravo, Analo, Vayu, Gham, Mano, Buddhirevacha, Ahankara, Idiyame, Bhinna Prakriti-rashtada. 5th sloka. Apareyata, Apareyamita, Stvanyam, Prakritim Vidhime Param, Jiva Bhutam, Mahabaho, Yayedam, Dhyaryate Jagat. Apareyamita, Stvanyam. Apareyam. Apareyam means aparam, which is inferior. Inferior idam, that. Other than that. Anything other than inferior, which is superlative or higher, Prakritim Vidhime Param. In that Prakriti is energy. Prakriti is full of force. And that force, Vidhime Param, which is superior than me. Who is saying this? The superior Bhagavan is saying. That energy which is higher than me, Jiva Bhutam Mahabaho. Every living being, a mighty Arjuna, powerful Arjuna. Mahabaho is a synonym for Arjuna. Hey Arjuna, which exists in every human being, every living being, that energy which is higher than me, Yayedam Dharyate Jagat. That is the basis for this material world to exist. It is not that material world with this energy and the material around it which is existing in this world. No. Higher than that, there is an energy within each one of us that is making this world as it is surviving. That superior energy in you and me is that me existing inside you. I am not away from you, I am inside you. Who will understand this? Only 1 out of 1,000 will understand. I am the God. Like Vivekananda said, I am the God. I am the Bharat. I am the nation. If you want to know, look at me. Excuse me, then you will get it. Not excuse me. Excuse me. Okay. Again, Bhagavan will tell this in the 11th sloka, Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga. The same thing will get repeated. Apareyamitastvanyam Prakritim Vidhime Param Jiva Bhutam Mahabaho. Every living being here, Arjuna, it is existing. Yayedam Dharyate Jagat. That is what is made out of. That is what is the whole world is. 6th sloka. Etayodyonini bhutanam etadyonini bhutani etadyonini bhutani sarvani tyubadharaya aham krishnasya jagataha aham Krishnasya Jagadaha Prabhavaha Pralayasthatha. Prabhavaha Pralayasthatha. Prabhavam. Source. I am the source. For what? Pralayam. Pralayam is every dissolution. Every end of this I am the start. And what is that start? The creation is the start of the pralayam. Wherever there is creation, there is dissolution. So prabhavaha, that creation and that pralayastata, from starting to ending, from beginning to end, from generation to dissolution, I am existing. Aham Krishnasya Jagadaha. Everywhere you can see my involvement. Who is that? That God is involved in everything and everywhere. Edadat Dyonini Bhutani. Energy which is existing in every living being, every Bhutani, every living being. Bhutani means every living being. Sarvani Tyubadharaya. It is there. Understand. You understand that it is there, Sarvani. Every living being it is there, and that is that energy which is me, which is existing in everyone. What is that? Every living being itself is a embodiment of the energy which is from the Prakriti, which is me, who is existing in everyone. I am not different from the Prakriti, the energy itself. That is what Bhagavan says. I am that energy which is existing in each one of the Bhutas. Only they don't understand it. Though they act, they don't understand. They act, but they don't understand. Edada Dyonini Bhutani. That Dyonini. Two feeling. I am different, you are different. That has to go. Then only it becomes united. Sarvani Tyubadharayaha. Aham Krishnasya Jagadaha. I am Aham Krishnasya. Krishnasya means the entire globe, the entire world, entire humanity, entire universe, entire golem, everything around this. Jagataha, the creation. Prabhavaha Pralayastada. Pralayastada. From starting to ending, that is what is existing. 7th sloka. Matta parataram nyanyat kishchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvamidam proktam protam mai sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva. Matta parataram nyanyat. Nothing is higher and lower and senior and junior and above and below, and nothing is there. Everything is same. Kaschidasti Dhananjaya. Understand that energy in me and you is one and the same, and every living being is same. And who am I? My Sarvamidam Proktam. I am that thread which moves in each one of you to connect each one of you. Sutre Manigana Iva. In a pearl garment, the thread goes inside pearl to connect all the pearls. That's how you make ornaments, the garland. How the garland is made? By connecting different pearls. Like I am connecting in each one of you, going through that energy. So I am the common thread for all of you to connect. That's what Bhagavan says. God says, I am that truth which is connecting each one of you. If you are talking to somebody else, I am passing through you. And that makes you to connect to people. What a great feeling. God is not saying I am higher than you. I am inside you to connect you to somebody else. That means those who connect, and then being a human being, communicating to each other, you are a human being. You are a social being because you socialize with the people. To such people who are socializing, such people who are human, through them I connect, and individually you become part of my garland. And I am the garland thread. I cannot exist. Nobody will look at the garland thread. Only when you become part of the thread, which glorifies the thread from the normal thread into a garland. So where is Bhagavan existing? Bhagavan is existing in the beauty of each one of us being part of that mala, that garland. So Bhagavan is telling, I am only connecting inside you, and you are the person who is glorifying my presence. The thread presence is glorified by your presence around the thread. That's what Bhagavan says. What a beautiful sloka is this. 7th chapter, 7th sloka. Don't miss this. We are all trustees. We are only connecting people each other. It is not my knowledge. I have been in the thread, part of the thread which connects people together. That's only what I am doing. As Bhagavan says, I should also tell from what I did from my Guru, what I got from my Guru, I am transferring, so that we are transferring the thread of knowledge. Matta parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mahi sarvamidam praptam sutre manigana iva. I am not able to stop looking at slokas, but the next few things, 8th to 12th, he says God is everywhere. Establishing what he said in the first few slokas is what is happening. If we wanted to, we already finished half an hour. We will skip a few more slokas. It's that which is existing in everything. Shabda, Purusham, Pranava. Starting from the Pranava to the Shabda which I am speaking now. It's all Bhagavan's Prabhasti, Prabhasmi, Shashi Suryayo, Raso, Kaundeya, Hey Kaundeya, Arjuna, I am there everywhere. Punya Gandham, the smell of every flower is also mine. I am presenting there in the flower. Sarva Bhudeshu, Tapasvishu, every Buddha, every Tapasvi who have gone into higher and higher. In the seed to the developed tree, my energy exists. That is the Tejas, that is the Buddhi, that is the Atma, that is the Manas in which I am manifesting in each one of you. In wherever Balam is there, wherever Balam is not there, wherever energy is there, wherever energy is not there, wherever Kama, Raga, Vivarjidam, wherever desire is there, no desire also. Kama, wherever it is not there also I am present. Wherever Dharma, the virtue happens, wherever no virtue happens, my presence will be there. What a Bhagavan is this? What a way of explaining God. And then you can be in Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic, 3 styles of being very, 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 very nice to people without even hurting anybody. Fighting with the people, ignoring, you are absent from everything. I don't get connected to the world at all. That is what is called Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. Everywhere you be in any of these 3 states, not being part of it and they stay separate, I will be there inside you. That energy which clarifies and categorizes you differently, my presence will be there. The confidence in which you speak, the demonstration of the energy which you have, everything which you present yourself as a devotee, then I am also there. Which you can present with your effort and actions, I am there everywhere. Then go to probably 14th sloka. 14th sloka, 7th chapter. Devi Hyosha Gune Mai Mamamaya Duratyaya Mameva E Prabhadyande Ma Ya Metam Tarandite. You Tarandite, you cross over. What you have to cross over? Maya Metam. All these concepts which I spoke so far looks like a Maya. Rajasic, Tamasic, Sattvic, and you be able to classify and categorize like this? No, it's not possible. Sometime I will be so Sattvic and pious and good. Another time I will become so dangerous person where you cannot react to. Is it a Maya? Is it the same person whom I met? All that you will see around you, such people also you will see. Devi, Hrishya, Gunamayi, that divine Devi, that Gunam, that divine quality you will see. Gunamayi, in the nature you will see. Mamamaya, Duratyaya, my presence with all the divinity in different forms and different levels you will see around. Mame, I myself you will see. Prabhadyande, and you will get surrendered to me when you see me. All these are Maya. These are all your concepts. These are all your feeling. And what is to be done? You have to cross this. tarandide. You cross this Maya and realize it is one in different forms and it is not different forms in one. It is one in different forms. It is not different forms in one. You must understand, I as an individual, God, I spread myself in different forms in all of you. All of us. That's what Bhagavan says. Devi Hrishya Gunamai Mama Maya Duratyande Mameva Ye Prabhadyande Maya Medam Tarandide. Therefore, we cannot hate anybody. That's what he says. Namam Dushkriti, 15th sloka. Namam Dushkrudino Mudha. Some Mudhas, ignorant fellows. What do? Dushkrutino. They do bad things. Evil action will come from them. Namam, it is not away from me. I love such people also who are doing bad. Namam, don't think they are not me. Don't think I don't exist in them. I also exist in those people who do dushkruti, bad things. And mudha. Last time there was a question. Answer I said will come in the next chapter. This is that answer. Namam dushkrutino mudha. With not having sufficient, mudha is not having knowledge. There is ignorant. Such people also, they do bad things. I will exist in them. Namam dushkrutino mudha. Prabhadyante naradhama. Prabhadyante naradhama. Mayaya prihadatnana. Asuram bhavamasrita. Prabhadyante naradhama. Prabhadyante, surrender. Naradhama, those people who are in the lowest in the nature. Naradhama. Adhamam is lower. Naram, human being. Human being, those who don't have this knowledge, they are in the lowest category. Either asurikam, devil nature, ignorant, not having knowledge. Maya prihadatnana, with not able to understand God's presence, they are in atnana. Atnanam, not having that intelligence to understand God exists everywhere. Asuram bhavamasrita, they show all the demonic nature, the nature of a devil. They will show that nature. So what is to be done? Namam dushkrudino muda prabhadyande naradhama mayaya prihadatnana asuram bhavamasrita. That is how those people are showing that, because they are ignorant, they are mudhas, they don't have awareness. What is to be done? So we have to tolerate with such people. They don't have this ability. That is what it says. Okay. Chadurvida bhajante mam, 16th sloka. Chadurvida bhajante mam jana sukrudino arjuna. 4 type of people are there. Jana, Sugurdino, Arjuna. Understand 4 type of people are there. Arto, Jitna, Surartharti, Nani, Jabharadarshapaha. Chadurvida bhajante mam. 4 type of people are there who will come to me. Out of 1,000, one will get only my view to get my blessings, to become part of me. Who are those people? Out of that, there are different categories. Who are those people? Chadurvida bhajante mam. There are a lot of people who go to Bhagavan to do puja, surrender to them, thinking that they are surrendering. They prostrate, they do lot of japa, they keep making lot of drama in front of Bhagavan. Some people keep on crying. God doesn't like those people crying at all. This is the sloka which Bhagavan says, don't come and cry in front of me, I ignore you. Jana Sukrutino Arjuna, those who people, Sukrutina, those pious people, great fellows. Arjuna, understand. Who are those people? Arto. Arto means with a lot of desire. Desire is arti. With uncontrollable desire, they become sad. Such people are called Arto. They keep on crying. Why are they crying? I did not get a promotion. I did not understand this. I did not got sufficient marks. Those people did not consider me. I did not get this award. So many complaints. All those people in one category, Bhagavan says, Artho. Sad fellows. They come to me. Jitnasu. Some people will come. What is happening? They come to learn Bhagavad Gita. Why? What is there in Bhagavad Gita? I want to know. They are not dedicated in learning. They wanted to always question. So they will not appreciate the class. They question the class. They ask questions. They are called Jitnasus. I don't like them also, Bhagavan said. The other day I was telling, maybe after 1 hour lecture, somebody asked a question without even appreciating, no reflections. They belongs to this Jitnasu category. Bhagavan says they are useless. Last time also I told, those people don't know how to appreciate class. They are not good for me. I don't consider them at all. But still I will answer. Artho Jitnasu Artharthi. They will come to get some benefit. You know what is the benefit? Let me learn Bhagavad Gita so that I will get a certificate and tomorrow I will go and teach Bhagavad Gita somewhere. So that I can make some benefit out of. What is that I will get? Do I get a certificate by learning? Immediate question is that. Everybody is worried about getting power, position, money, some benefit out of it. Artharthi. There are 3 categories over. Last category is Nani. Knowledgeable people. What is that knowledgeable people? Why are you here? Because I could not stop learning Bhagavad Gita. Why are you learning it? Why are you breathing? Why are you breathing? Because I cannot stop breathing. Why are you learning Bhagavad Gita? I am so much passionate about it. I don't know why I am not attending. So I keep on attending. Why I cannot stop attending? That's how it. Nani. Such people who want knowledge. That is where Jnana Vijnana Yoga chapter is important. It is for knowledge. Don't ask what is the benefit out of it. At least you will feel, yeah, I know this. That is the credit which all of us should have. I am knowledgeable. Jnani ja Bharadarshabaha. Hey Bharata, Putra, Arjuna, many people come here. Who are those people? I love this sloka. So many places I quoted this. 7th chapter is almost like by heart for me. Chadurvida bhajande mam jana sukrutino arjuna artho jitnasurarthati nani cha bharadarshapaha. 4 type of people are there. Which category you want to become? You want to be artho? Most of the bhaktas are arthos. They keep on crying. So most of the slokas when you see, which is sung in our song also, they will all sad songs. I don't have my leg, I don't have my eye, I don't see, I don't. God doesn't like. God says they are stupid people. Jnani is the highest. Jitnasu. Don't become Jitnasu also. It will come to you. You have passion. You understand. Learn. Don't aim for something, some benefit out of it. Without the benefit, I enjoy it. That's it. That is what is devotion. Chadurvida bhajante mam jana sukritino arjuna artho jitnasurartharti nani cha bharadarshabaha. Now, every sloka is important, but we cannot do every sloka, then we will not finish. So we will skip 17th, where he says, I am not the highest, but I am not the higher. I am equal to you, but when I am inside you, you become higher. So consider me inside you as you. It's indirectly saying that I am there inside you. No? If you are with me or no, no problem. But if you are with me, you will get some benefit. That's how it is. 19th sloka. 19th sloka. Bahunam janmanamande. Bahunam janmanamande. Nanavan mam prabhadyande. Vasudeva sarvamiti. Vasudeva sarvamiti. Samahatma sudurlabha. Samahatma sudurlabha. Such great Mahatma, Sa Mahatma, the greatest of the greatest great soul is Sudurlabha, very, very rare. Where do you see them? You see them everywhere. Wherever Vasudeva is there, wherever Krishna is there, wherever God is there, Sarvamiti. You can see him everywhere, wherever God is there. Bahunam Janmanamande. Very rarely people take this birth of human being. Every animal cannot understand this Bhagavad Gita. Only human being can understand. Only human being can learn this. And out of this human being, do everybody come and learn? Not many people come and learn. Nanavan man prabhadyante. Those people who are gifted to have this knowledge, mam prabhadyante, come and surrender to me. Listen to Bhagavad Gita. Listen to Bhagavan Krishna's virtues. That knowledge. Vasudeva Sarvamidhi. Then you will understand Vasudeva is there everywhere. And who can do that? Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. Such people are very rare in this world. Out of 1 out of 1,000 only will learn. It is not that everybody can learn Bhagavad Gita and become knowledgeable. Bahunam Janmanamande Nanavanman Prabhadyante Vasudeva Sarvamidhi Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. Going to temples, you will see thousands of people going. But understanding Bhagavan, very less people will be there. That's what Bhagavan says. Because 4 categories of people will go there. Only 1 category out of it who may not go there also, but they will learn Bhagavan. They are near to me. They come to me. They join me. That's what Bhagavan says. And 20 to 23rd sloka, the questions of how do you worship other gods, what will happen? All that is being answered. Okay, Sattva, Raja, Tamo, Guna, different category of people. They categorized gods also into Sattva Guna, Raja Guna, Tamo Guna gods. So there are ferocious forms of gods who kill people. Such gods also are being worshipped. They kill animals and then feed gods. All these are different category of gods, which we don't care. Let them be like that. I remember in Kannur, when I go to somebody's house, every Saturday when I go there, along with the chapati, chicken is given. So I asked, where is this chicken you are getting? That is the temple which is giving prasadam. Such prasadam is also there. I belong to that place. Sona is also from that same place. There is a place where you can book a chicken, and that becomes a varibadu for Bhagavan, offering for Bhagavan, and say it is Bhagavan who has given. Right? What is feed to Bhagavan? What you like is what you feed. Assume that I come to one of your house and you don't know what do I like. What do you give? Oh, chicken biryani I prepared because we have a great guest today. Why do you prepare chicken biryani? You think that is the highest food which you can serve to somebody, right? So if you love God, you have to give him chicken biryani. What is wrong? That's how people started giving different forms and becoming Rakshasas even in the way they serve God. Bhagavan says, I know all these category of people. Can you imagine? Krishna says, I know all these categories of people. And don't say that they don't have bhakti. They have bhakti, but they have ignorance. They don't know what is truth and what is right and what is wrong. That's a problem. So I pity on them. That's what indirectly Bhagavan says. They are also devotees. I am there with them also. But they need to be improvised. They need to become higher and higher. Okay, so many type of people are there, many type of categories are there. And 24th to, that is what is explained in 20 to 23rd. We will skip that. 24th to 30th talks about the glory of nature, glory of God, how they come, how deliberately they hide inside that invisible nature, and formless form, they will formless form. They don't have form. The wind also is Bhagavan, fire is also Bhagavan, sky is also Bhagavan, water is also Bhagavan. Everywhere that Panchabhuta, you can show that less intelligent Panchabhutas, in which also you can see Bhagavan, which can be destroyed, which can be kept, all that you will see. Prakasham, Yoga, Mudha, everywhere, Loka, every part of this world you can see them. And then Bhagavan says, understand, it is not me fully, but I am there in every form in that. That's what Bhagavan says. Now let us go to 27th sloka. 7th chapter, 27th sloka. 27, 28, 29, 30. So 4 more slokas, we will finish one chapter. 27th sloka. Ichha dveshamupasthe upat ichha dveshasa muthena dvandva mohena bharata sarvabhutani sammoham സർഗേ യന്തി പരന്തവ. ഇച്ഛാ ദ്വേഷം. ദ്വേഷം, ദ്വേ ഈസ് ടു. വാട്ട് ഈസ് ദ്വേഷം? രാഗദ്വേഷം, ഇച്ഛാദ്വേഷം, different desire, whether I want it, I don't want it. That is what you categorize. My desire, I've got hate. That categorization, samudhena, it comes inside me. I get enemies and close friends, love and hate, all that comes in me. Dandva mohena bharata, these two, enmity and affinity, this duality comes to me and confuses me. Bharata, ye Arjuna, sarva bhutani sammoham. These are all, this delusion is there in every living being. Sarge yanti parandava. This is part of their sargam. By birth itself it comes in some inside them. Hate, love, this confusion, this sammoham, this delusion, by birth itself is in everyone. Ichhadvesha, ichhadvesha, samudhena, dvandva mohena bharata, sarva bhutani sammoham, sarge yandi parandava. This is there in everyone. 28th sloka. Esham dandva gadam papam jananam punyakarmanam te dandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam dhrida vrta. Dhrida vrta, dridam, determined, vrta, serving me, dhrida vrta, with all the determination, bhajante, worship me, me only. That desire in you to have devotion in me is fully inside you, then you will be out of all these problems. Yesham dandvagadam papam, that papam, that sin which you have, completely destroying you with this confusion of good and bad, right and wrong, doing wise thing and not that wise, the Rakshasi, divine and the Rakshasika, jananam punya karmanam, that comes to you with every person, with all the activities which you do. Te dandva moha nirmukta, you can come out of this in the free form of nirmukta. With all that, this comes because of your desire. You come out of the desire, nirmukta, moha nirmukta. If you don't have desire, this separation will not be there and you will be without any of these problems. And then have the devotion in me so that firmly be with me in that without confusion. How do you get out from the confusion? Moha nirmukta, without having desire. You look at every enemy friendship, papa, punya, everything is associated with your desire. So if you become not over desire, your desire should be with the passion for greater people to serve the greater community, larger people. With that motive, when you go, all the actions you do becomes without any selfish desire. Such people will become highest, who will become my loving community. Yesham dandvagatam papam jananam punya karmanam, that is what is punya karma which you have to get from your birth, that everybody will not get. Te dandva nirmukto moha nirmukta, get out of that moha, nirmukta, come out of that delusion. Bhajante mam dhrida, come and surrender to me with full devotion. What is that come to me means? Be in action with the full passion. Be in action with the full passion. That is what it means. 29th sloka. Jara marana mokshaya mamasritya yadandiye te brahma tadviddu krishna adhyatmam karma chakhilam. Jara marana mokshaya, You will not become old. You will not have death. And you will be guaranteed liberation. See, what else we want? I don't want to become old. I don't want death. Guarantee you liberation. When? Mamasritya yadandiye. Surrender to me. Come to me. And fully guarantee your devotion to me. Te Brahma tadyuddu. You have to become Brahma. What is that Brahma? Hridaya Guhara Madhye Kevalam Brahma Matram. Stay inside the deep heart. Like go into the deep sea where there is no vibrations of the sea waves. Calm, calm, calm. Tadyudyu. That when you stay there, Krishna. What you should see there? Only that dark blue inside the water. That dark blue inside the sky. That is why Krishna is called Krishna. Blue colored. See that in me as that blue color which you are seeing. Close your eyes, you will see that blue color. And that is what is inside you, what you are seeing. Because you already closed your eyes. Adhyatmam. That is called Adhyatmam. That is called the highest of spirituality. Then what do? Will you close your eyes and do nothing? Cha karma jaghilam. Entire life is busy with action. Only action. Full devotional action. Passionate action. I love it, I am doing it. I love it, I am doing it. I cannot stop doing it as I cannot stop my breath. Think about only that without any thinking about the benefits. Jara Marana Mokshaya. What a beautiful sloka is this. Jara Marana Mokshaya. No old age, no death, liberation. That means it is not, there is not what it means. You are not concerned about you becoming old. You are not concerned about your death. Every moment you are living with action. What sort of action? Which is passionate inside you. So you enjoy doing it. Mama Sritya Yatandiye. Mama Sritya. Come and surrender inside me. That passion is called Bhagavan. That action with the devotion, that action with the passion is called God. Nothing else. God is in you with a lot of passion. Te Brahma Tadyudyu Krishna. Then when you get inside you, what you see is that blue color, and that is me. Adhyatmam Karmacha Akhilam. That highest spirituality makes you so active in your actions, and that is me. Sadi 30th sloka. Sadi Bhutadi Devam Mam. Sadi Bhutadi Devam Mam. Sadi Yatnam Cha Ye Viduhu. Sadi Yatnam Cha Ye Viduhu. Prayanakalepi Cha Mam. Prayanakalepi Cha Mam. Te Vidur Yukta Chetasaha. Te Vidur Yukta Chetasaha. This is most beautiful. What does it say? The end of your life. Prayana Kale Apicha Mam. At the end of your life, you start surrendering to me and come to me. Forget about whatever happened so far. Hey, I am 60 years old. So far, I didn't understand Bhagavad Gita. Forget about it. Now start doing it. Bhagavan says, Prayana Kale Pichama. Not now alone. Until your death. Cha means and. Until your death, keep on being with me. Te Vidur Yukta Chetasaha. Without any desire, your full consciousness surrendering to me, understanding that consciousness inside you is Bhagavan, and therefore I am doing as per my consciousness, which makes me highly spiritual, and every action which I do don't come from my buddhi and manas, it comes from my atma, which is highly creative. Sadi Bhutadi Devam Mam. In those people who are governed by these, either it is a material or a living being, I am there in each one of them. Whether you are totally powerful active or lightly active, doesn't matter. I am inside you. Sadhi yatnam cha ye viduhu. Every action which you do becomes a yatna. Yatna is sadhi yatnam. That yatna, sacrifice. Why are you doing it as a sacrifice? Sacrifice is putting into fire, it burns. Does that material when entering into fire has got some desire? No, the form itself is changed. It is dissolving. With the full passion, it is dissolving inside fire. So I am dissolving inside the time and investing my time without expecting anything. Prayana kalepi chama. Such people, they do this. When you should do it? From now onwards until your death. Sadhi yatnam chaye viduhu. You understand. If you can do this continuously, you will be the most blessed person. And in you, I will stay. That's what Bhagavan says. Sadhi bhutadi devam mam. Sadhi yatnam chaye viduhu. In such people, in that bhutam, I will stay. Devam mam. Those people are me itself inside them. Sadhi yatnam chaye viduhu. They will start doing every activity as a yatna karma. Prayana kale pichamam. And not now and after some time, in between and all that. Continuously be with that action. Te vidur yukta chetasaha. Such people they do. And such actions which they do becomes highly spiritual actions. Idi Srimad Bhagavad Gita su Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Jnana Vijnana Yogo Namaha Saptamodhyayaha Samaptam. 7th chapter we completed. We took less than an hour. I know we need to skip many of these slokas so that we could finish 7th chapter. Doesn't mean that we finished learning everything. It only means we had a glance, we had an overview, we had a panoramic view, we had a distant view. Maybe if everything goes good, at least some of you may be able to get into each sloka and look at it. It's all there in my YouTube channel. Sloka by sloka, chapter by chapter, everything is there. Suppose you want to know 7th chapter, 27th sloka, BG-7/27. It will be there in my YouTube channel. Go to Bhagavad Gita BG. Bhagavad Gita, Dr. TPS, you will get adhyayam by adhyayam, chapter by chapter. Think good enough for the day. So if you have some questions, I'll be very, very happy to have some questions from you. Yeah. I'm so happy Kimaro from Africa is here. Nilaya from Brazil is here. Jimmy is there from Kottayam. Kulashekar. Madhuri is from where? Madhuri is from Andhra? Andhra Pradesh. Parijadam ji is there from Dubai. Haridas ji is from Mangalore, Mangalapuram. Dharma ji is there from USA. Sona is from Bangalore. I'm seeing only few faces. So
Professor?
Sheila is there from my native district, Kannur. Yeah.
Father is there today.
Oh,
Basumati.
okay.
Haridas Anna is there. Haridas Anna.
Good. Haridas Anna, I just told. Yeah, Haridas ji is there from Bangalore. Yeah, Nilaya Amma. Nilaya ji, Nilaya Amma, tell me. Amma means mother. Amma means mother. Amma means mother. So Nilaya Amma means with respect. Amma.
Nilaya means what, Professor?
Nilaya is your name. That you don't forget. Amma means mother.
Yeah, Amma is beautiful. And Bua is father.
We always call all the girls.
Amma.
We call Amma.
Nilaya Amma.
Amma.
Nilaya Amma, you tell. Yeah.
But when I was in Pune, they gave me the name like Ma, D Bhaktiya Nilaya.
Yeah,
And they told me meditation brings you home.
Ma-
Does it make sense?
Ma is mother only. Meditation brings you.
Home? Is Nilaya home?
See, Nilayam means the place of where do you stay is called Nilayam. So
Oh,
your
Nilayam is the place where you stay?
where God stays inside you. So your heart, your manas is Nilayam for Bhagavan. If you are thinking about God, if you are thinking about eating pizza, your heart
I
becomes
have pizza.
your pizza. That's your pizza. That's.
Right, now I understand myself better.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is
so
what-
shall I do about my name? Shall I change?
That is what Bhagavan. That is what Vivekananda said. You are what you think.
Why people say you are what you eat?
Because you think about eating only. That is why most of the
But you
people
said
will
something
ask.
about the dress.
See, most of the people will ask, what you had for your breakfast, what you had for lunch, because their thoughts is only eating. Vivekananda said,
But
you
where does the
are
thoughts come from?
what you think. Your thinking comes from inside the heart. That is called the Brahma. The Brahma is the God of creativity. Suppose you are a creative person, every moment you keep thinking different things. And you don't think the way you are thinking yesterday, you will not think it today. A creative person always create moments.
A creative person thinks every second something different.
Different.
That's all. Nobody understands what I say.
Yeah.
Only
So you don't think about yesterday, you don't think about tomorrow, you think about now. And that now makes you a lot of creative thoughts will come inside. And if you can be that, you are with God because God is within you. So where is God?
God is creation.
That is
God
creation.
is creation.
Yeah, that is why if you are creative, Brahma is there, Brahma's wife will be with you. You know who is Brahma's wife? Saraswati.
Saraswati. Oh.
Yeah. So if Brahma is with you, knowledge will come to you. If you are creative, knowledge will come. If knowledge is there, you become creative. Because both of them marry.
What happens? But Saraswati, does she get angry?
No, they don't get angry at all.
No?
No.
You sure?
Saraswati will not become angry. The Saraswati in a different form has anger.
Oh.
That is called Kali. Kali. You listen to
Kali.
my lecture on Dasha Mahavidya. Different lady goddess Sankalpas. Different lady goddess in forms. 10 different ladies forms. I explained in many of my classes. So God itself has got different. So when you get angry, you are not Saraswati. You are Kali.
That's the dress, but you said something about that I do believe that you have to be aware of what you dress.
Yes.
But sometimes if you get the wrong costume,
Then you behave like. You behave
weird.
like. Yes.
That's why I need to think about my lipstick color. It takes me a long time to figure out what is the lipstick color.
Nilaya, you may have to make the name as Nilayama or Neelamma and make a blue lipstick.
I have blue lipstick, I will remember that.
But better to be natural. See, it's natural. No powder. No cosmetics.
Cosmetics are nice, but they do dress. The goddess, they have different dresses. You said that about the costume.
That is all given by.
Bhagavad Gita.
That's all given by people who wanted her to be in that form.
Yeah.
God has.
They are beauty. But the flowers have different colors.
God.
Why do flowers are not just natural?
Yeah. What is the taste of water? No taste. Why are you only quoting flower? Why not water?
The water also changed.
See, the original textbook of all that concept of God in different forms and shape is being cleared by one big sloka which everybody could quote and learn. Rupam Rupa Vivarjidasya Bhavato. Rupam is shape. Rupam is shape. R-U-P-O-O-M. Rupam.
R-U-P-P-O.
Yeah. Rupam Vivarjidasya Bhavato. Rupam Rupa Vivarjidasya Bhavato. Dhyayena Yat Kalpitam. It is me as human being who gave shape to Bhagavan. God doesn't have shape. God doesn't have shape. Stutya nirvajaniyata akhila guru duri kritayanmaya. I keep explaining God's nose is beautiful, eyes are beautiful, shape is beautiful. No. All these poetry which explains about God is all created by some poet, some point of time.
But then God has a chance to exist, otherwise God would be...
Yeah, that is what Bhagavan is saying. Vyaptitvam cha maya krita. Everywhere I am spread. But some people said they are only in temple. They are not every time in the temple. They are everywhere. So why are you going to temple? Only less buddhi people. Little knowledge, but not full knowledge. They go to temples and do all these vikriyas, prakriyas, vikritis. Chandavyam jagadisha doshatrayam matkrutam. Hey God, please forgive me for doing these mistakes. This is the biggest mistake. God has a shape, God is to be described, God is to be fed. Who wants?
But Professor, they are looking for God.
Yeah, that
They
is...
try to see it, but if you don't see it, what? Because God cannot be seen.
See,
You
that
have
is...
to see it,
That is because
what cannot be seen.
young child, my son did not see my father. So I keep a picture of my father and say, this is your father, this is your father. I know this is not my father, this is only picture of my father. Where is my father? Father is inside my heart, inside my manas. I cannot show him, therefore I need a picture. So these are all symbols for showing and propagating. Very good.
No, Professor.
Must.
No, okay, I understand. But I'll tell you, this is my mother now. You see, I need my mother. I dress her clothes. I need her. I'm not prepared yet.
But your cloth is not your mother.
I'm sorry.
See, some gift given by somebody, we protect it and say, oh, I love this kerchief because it is gifted by my most favorite person. The value is not in that material. My sankalpa, my thought inside that material is making it great. So most important is not material, not a picture, not items. It is my thoughts on that. That is what is important. Yeah, good question. Wonderful. Nilayamma, thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Tell Gidamma. Gidamma can tell. Yeah.
Today you told that ego should be there. Ego
Yeah.
should be there. Then if ego will be there, how can a person be humble?
See, I know how to guide you from one bus stand to the temple. When somebody asks me a question, show me the way to the temple, and you are standing in the bus stand. Why are they asking? Because they don't. Why are you giving answer? Because you know. Does it mean when I am explaining the way to the temple, I have ego?
No.
That is sharing knowledge. That's it. So having knowledge is an ego, which generally people consider sharing knowledge is an ego. No, it's not an ego. It's a service. You understood? When I am asking Dharma, I was there in Dharma's place. I say, Dharma ji, please take me to such and so place. Because I cannot drive, he can drive. While driving, is he showing his ego or serving me? But assume you show it as an ego and tell the other person, you don't know driving, I only know driving. With that feeling, when you drive, that becomes ego.
Yeah.
So what you do is not ego. How do you do it is ego. You can convert same activity into egoistic activity. I am feeding lot of poor people. Okay. While feeding poor people, I am putting my big picture and say, I am the person who is feeding. That is little higher ego. Understood? Suppose I am serving and then people are eating. I am only feeding, right? Will you call it as ego? It calls it service. So there is slight marginal difference. I think I explained to you as best as I can.
Definitely.
You are serving your children with a lot of love. You can show your authority saying, I am the mother and I am feeding you. You should listen to me tomorrow. So one can be service, another can be ego. Every activity can be converted into service or ego.
Thank you.
Sometimes some people are not thinking about their ego, they act. And some people watch dancing, they have ego. You know?
Yeah.
Because they have some kind of emotional issues towards that person, and they say, look at him or her, so much ego. Actually, they may not thinking about it.
Yes.
That's also happening.
Yeah. Okay.
Good enough? Shall we close?
Okay.
If no more questions.
Okay.
We can also learn
Thank you.
Namaskar ji.
So see you. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. Those who have not sent me some WhatsApp messages, just send so that you are in my contact list for giving. I am so glad that from Abu Dhabi Rishika is also there, because I have sent some details to her today. Isabel is there from Argentina. Nice.
I am also from Mauritius.
Oh,
Mauritius.
Kishore Chandra, Mauritius.
I am from Mauritius. Yeah.
Wonderful, very good.
Namaskar.
You attended first time or earlier you attended once?
No, the first time.
First time. Okay. Mauritius, we had a few people who are attending. Just send a message in case you have not sent me any messages so far. My
Okay.
number is, you can get it from Dr. TPS search on YouTube, or 944 74 37
Yeah.
948.
Okay.
Indian
I
number.
think Jake was going to ask a question.
944
Just a minute.
yeah, I could post it on the chat box.
944
Yeah, 74
74
37
37
948.
94. Wait, I'll
It-
repeat it.
Yeah,
944 74
yeah,
37
yeah.
948.
You are right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, namaskar.
Namaskar. Yeah, Jimmy had some question. Tell me, Jimmy Matthew.
I think she left it.
No, she is there, raised hand. Yeah.
So today we have we were listening that everybody is divine. Everybody has a divine consciousness. So in this world, in this material world, we have to interact with the different type of people,
Yeah.
and we know the higher knowledge that everybody has having divine consciousness.
Yeah.
But many times we have to act. If we are thinking that they also have divine consciousness, we can we won't be able to act actually. So how can we act judiciously?
See,
Some in what I mean is
yeah, understood your confusion, because I also had similar confusion maybe years back. Okay, so we are on same boat. Maybe you are little late in the boat, I am slightly earlier. That's all the difference. I also had similar questions. See, we have a blossomed flower in a deep forest. What is the purpose of the flower? You can ask a question. Nobody is smelling it, nobody is looking at it. It has gone, blossomed one day, the next day it left and then died. Do you think that this flower is useless? It has done its duty, that's it. It has taken birth, it died one day. There are plenty of people in this world whose divine consciousness is never understood, never realized. Only same flower comes to somebody's garden, there will be a lot of care taken. Probably it is cut and then put it onto some bouquet, and it is given by somebody else to United Nations General Secretary, and he keeps it on his table. Does that flower become much higher than that flower which was dying in the forest? See, we think when we are being carried by many people, controlled by many people, taken care of by many people, your life becomes much more higher, otherwise not divineless. No, every one of us have divinity inside. Every one of us have got that smell inside. Many flowers which blossom in the dark are white in color. Bhagavan has identified that one bee will come and take the honey. That's good enough. That flower's life becomes most precious. So every one of us have got. I need not become on the chair or on the table of United Nations. But if one Jemmy Matthew understood what Dr. T.P. Shashikumar is telling is good enough, and my life becomes virtuous. So don't count the number of people. Don't think about the people don't care you. Think about one person who is beside you, who is looking at you, where you can serve. Probably you may be the messenger for somebody else tomorrow. That's why I keep saying, just some time back I had a lecture on United Nations program in Mahi. I was telling, I am not Vivekananda and I never aspire to be. But if I could be one fraction of Ramakrishna, I am the happiest. I can make many Vivekanandas here. That's good enough. So we have a purpose in our life. Identify what I wanted to do. And with that purpose, when you go, you are not hunting for anything else. You are hunting for one person will blossom tomorrow. Whether I blossom or not, I am not worried. Understood? So you become the torchbearer. We have to, that is what Bhagavan said. In this chapter, it is very clearly mentioned. You become the thread which passes through Manigana. Manigana. Mani is that, maybe it can be anything, which out of which you are making a garland. Ganam. Ganam means numbers. Many numbers pass through the thread. Ultimately, it becomes a garland. You may not be visibly seen outside, but you have a role to play. That's good enough. And every one of us have a role to play. Whether you serve somebody else or doesn't matter. A mother who brings up a child, what is that expectation? Expectation is tomorrow the child becomes a human being. A social being. What is human being? Being human to everybody. What is social being? Being social to everybody. With that anticipation only, we are bringing up our next generation, next child, every student. That's our responsibility in this world. It's a beautiful concept. Needs to think and become tank in Hindi. Tank means tired. You think, become tank. Keep on thinking and become tired. And again think about it. Then one day you get that realization. Did Jimmy understood what I said now? Answer it.
I understood. I understood.
You are great, Bhavati Amma. I myself did not understand this. It is not that easy to understand. We only will beat around the bush. We have not got the real rabbit. Only you think and become thug, you will realize, oh, this is what it is. Like when you drink water, when you are really thirsty, you ask, what is the taste of water? The taste of water is my life. Your life has got a taste. Understood? Nobody will know the taste of water. When you are really hungry, without that you are going to die. Somebody has no meditation. What is meditation? Hold your nose and mouth and put you inside water. And that time what are you thinking? One breath. That is meditation. And your whole concentration, attention is in the last breath which you can take. That is meditation. Will anybody understand when they have no problem in breathing in lavishly? They won't understand. When you are in that place only, you will understand. Okay, so that is a very, very, very highly esoteric, highly spiritual, highly ununderstandable. This is called Guhyam in Sanskrit. Guhyam means cannot be understood, cannot be described, cannot be explained. Esoteric, English word is esoteric. So this science is called esoteric science. You have to experience. Sakshat Anubhavair. When you feel only you know. Na sruto. I cannot tell you and then listen and oh, I understood. That's only pretension. Now Guru Darshidaha. Not even gurus can tell you and teach you. If some guru thinks that I can teach you meditation, most stupid things in the world is I can teach meditation. Nobody can teach. Meditation can be taught in the market, but not samadhi in the real sense. So that is to be understood by you, experienced by you, gained by you, and you reach that level, then you realize. That's called realization. So realization cannot be sold and marketed. It has to be felt inside you. It's a beautiful question. Okay. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, TP.
Thank you. God bless you. Enjoy the United Nations Day. All the best.
Today,
On Sunday.
Thank you.
pranam, pranam. Thank you so much.
Pranam, pranam.
Thank you. Asante
See you
san.
next Saturday.
Because of all of you together.
Hello.